All right. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to try to share the screen. I think I've done that, and then I'm going to get this slideshow visual pulled up. All right. School status analysis. So I've been fortunate to be able to work with the same group of people throughout this whole process. So we started working together when I started the program 3 semesters ago now, and they've been really helpful as far as sticking with me throughout the whole process. Many of them have been through a program through Gardner Webb or a similar program, so they all know the struggles of trying to work as well as get all this work turned in and learn along the way. So it's been a really cool experience to work with some people that have kind of been through this process, and I've definitely learned a lot from them. So just a quick shout out to them. We're going to go through the school status analysis that we put together as a team here at Mint Hill Middle School. Just a quick overview. I'm trying to keep it in the time limit as far as where our school is currently with learning strategies and teaching strategies and student achievement. I think it's very important before we start to just go ahead and put it out there that our whole focus for this school status analysis was to keep student learning at the center focus. If student learning isn't at the center focus of everything that we are doing, then I don't think we have a correct vision or direction of where we're headed. So we need to make sure that student centered focus is right at the heart of everything that we're doing, and that's what we try to do. So hopefully you see that as we move through this. All right, moving forward, here's just a quick overview of what we're going to do. With Artifact 1 back in the first semester, we wanted to, as a PLC, to figure out what teaching strategies we wanted to incorporate. And our goal was to have a consistency of teaching strategies across the whole entire school, whether students were in elective area classes, they were maybe learning different material, but they were using the same strategies in every class. And then from there, so we'll go over that. From there, we had to do a literary review in Artifact 2 and pulled out some pretty cool quotes that we read through some literature and kind of related that to where we are as a school. Artifact 3, we did the Miner's Path, which is an awesome behavior plan that the school leadership team implemented last year in the 2015-16 school year. So it's kind of ground level, and we're working up with that. It's been great to be a part of that implementation and just to see how the students are responding to it. After we talk about that, we'll go on to the school culture review through just the teacher working conditions survey and the insight survey. We'll go over that, and then student achievement data. The student achievement data, we have just so much information on that. So we're just going to talk about some points that we pulled out as a team that we thought we do well, and where the students have really showed growth as well as where we need some improvements. So just quick overview on that area. We could have a whole PowerPoint on student achievement. All right, let's dive into it. So we have the student-centered approach. This is the implementation that we did in semester 1 with the PLC here. We went around and we looked at what the school and what school leadership was wanting to implement. And that was, we had a strong focus at that time, and still with word walls and making sure students were utilizing academic vocabulary and building their vocabulary. You will see as we move through this choice learning, which is a personalized learning approach, which has been passed down through our district, that our school, I think this is a big positive point for us. And the health department really focused on choice learning and this menu thing and menu approach to that. And you'll see that as we move forward. Visual 3, the do nows. This is just a way that teachers, they're still using this as far as gathering quick data to see where students are in that current moment before class even starts. They're just right when they come in, they're given a do now, which is a review of past lessons. So it just keeps the information fresh. So it's not, okay, we've learned this standard and we've learned this information, and let's just move forward, and it never comes back to review. So do nows are a good review technique as well as gathering data to see where students are. All right, moving forward here. Academic vocabulary. This is an example of what you would see in a class at Mint Hill Middle School. Every teacher has to have a word wall. It's kind of elementary school, but they're very in-depth word walls. If this one wasn't blurry, you would be able to see. I guess when I blew it up, it kind of was blurry, but this was a math example, different equations and different strategies that students could use. And this is a quick reminder, and teachers, they do a great job at, from what we observed as a PLC, at referring to the word wall, calling on students to say, hey, let's refer to what we've gone over in the past using this strategy, and having students even go up to the word walls and point out what they're talking about. Great thing that they do in the school setting. And it's not, we didn't see it as, okay, we put up our word wall, let's check that box and move forward. Next is the choice learning. This is something that the elective area teachers saw that the classroom teachers were doing really well, and they wanted to implement that. And it is, as you can see here on this snapshot, you have the chef's choice. So it's set up just like a menu that you would see in a restaurant, and the students absolutely love this. It provides student choice, where they're taking ownership in their work. They get to pick and choose what they're doing. Hey, how are you? Coach Knox, if he's here, he may not be here. He is on the other side. You can go through, and if he's not there, you can just go out the other door on the other side. As you can see, there are appetizers and entrees. And so maximum points. It's a point system. They have to get a certain amount of points for each section of the menu. So each assignment is like, if you would look on a menu, you have grilled chicken sandwich with a side and a drink, and it's a certain amount of money. So instead of money here, we use points. So they have to get a certain amount of points. And it's really cool. The kids absolutely love it. And this was just something that kind of integrate that personalized learning. Do nows. Do nows, this is an example I kind of told you earlier. This is what you would see in a classroom that teachers give, and they're tied directly to the state standards. Students will come in. It's kind of like a warm-up, but they just use a different name for it because it's tracking exactly where students are, and it helps with review of what teachers will need to go back and review as they move closer and closer to the end-of-grade testing and interim testing. This is a great way to gather student data. This was from one of our 8th grade teachers, Mr. Rogers. He is like the do now expert. So like I said, those were, before we move forward, those were some teaching strategies that we saw that teachers were really implementing well. And the elective area team, our focus was to make sure that we were using those same strategies that, math, science, social studies, and language arts were using. So when the students came to elective areas, they weren't skipping a beat. We were using the same strategies to build that consistency. As we move forward here, just to be sensitive to time, literary review. These were some quotes that we thought really related to our school setting. We have this first one: fear and analysis can paralyze, but not if we are fully committed to our students' success. From the very start of this video, I've said that we are focused on student success, and that's what our main focus is. So, that is kind of just a quote that we thought really tied in well with our school. And taking risks. Mr. Dreyer, principal here at Mint Hill Middle, always allows us to take risks. He doesn't want us to hold back as far as trying something new with students that we've never tried before, with implementation of teaching strategies. He wants us to take risks so that we can see change happen. So that's teacher empowerment. I think when leadership gives their teachers the ability to take a risk and keep that focused on student success, that's when you see positive change. Building empowerment was the next area that we thought our school, showed great positive traits. In schools where teachers are empowered to be leaders, the focus of control shifts from the principal to the teachers. That is really what our school does a great job at. Our school leadership does a nice job at not stepping back completely out of the picture and letting teachers take over, but they allow us to take those risks and really take on some leadership roles. And PLCs, personalized learning communities, have really helped with that. All right, moving on here. Personalized learning committees or communities. We thought this was another positive point, and it's been a strong focus the last couple years here at Mint Hill. Positive and negatives to this, though. I think we still have a long way to come with our PLC groups. I think we have developed them and covered a variety of areas of the school. So we have a strong focus in every area of the school with our PLCs. So what we have done is teachers from elective areas to 6th, 7th, and 8th have divided ourselves up, and we have come together to work on cross-curriculum planning and just different areas of the school that will improve that student learning and to help with school growth. So we've seen great job at the implementation of this and getting these PLCs in place. This has allowed teachers to take on leadership roles, goes back to that quote. And of course, everything needs to be directed towards student learning. Areas of improvement. I think we, as a team, we thought as we were reviewing how PLCs have been utilized at our school, we do a great job at the implementation, but not as much in the area of, hey, let's review what we're doing here. What have we done from day one and to this point, and what growth have we seen as teachers, and what we're implementing from this PLC, and how has that affected the students? We haven't really done a great job at reflecting on the work of the PLC. And I think that's something that will come. We have really, the school has done a nice job at implementing these PLCs. This is something that's new. So I think change isn't something that's going to happen overnight. We have to stick with it and reflect on what we are doing to make sure that we are consistently improving. So that's what we got from our literary review, some points as far as teacher empowerment, building empowerment, and then just a strong focus on the PLC aspect of our school. All right, moving on to one of my favorites is this Miner's Path behavior plan. I think anytime that a leadership takes a risk, you're going to have some people that really are against the movement, and then you have some teachers that are on board and ready to go with it. So it takes time to have everybody come together as a whole. And I think you have to be sensitive to that and understanding that not everyone's going to jump on board with the idea of change until they see how it can benefit them, unfortunately. So this has been a process that has taken, this is the second year that it's been in place. As teachers are slowly starting to see, hey, this could actually work if I use this in class. So, or use it around the school as a whole. So strength areas and improvement areas in this, as you can see on the chart. So the name is Miner's Path, and great implementation, as you can see, strength areas. So the way we gathered this data was through a Google Forms. The PLC that I've been working with, we all sat down and we said, what do we need to focus on as we move forward with this behavior plan? And let's send out a Google Forms survey to all the staff, all the school leadership, and let's see what they think before we move any further. So if you see a 1, it's completely disagree. If you see a 5, that's where we want to be. That's agree with what we are doing in the topic, but as far as what question they were asked. All right, so strength areas, great implementation. We had 37.9% 4 rating here, and we had 37% 5 rating. So we would like to see that higher, but we thought as far as the results that we saw, administration has done a great job with providing us with what we need to implement this plan. Follow up from administration, 37.9% agree with this. We went ahead and put this on the strength side. We know that we need to see higher in this area. But we did see some positive things that administration was doing as far as providing review lessons for the minors path throughout the year. During homeroom, teachers would have lessons that they give to the students and they provide for the students just to review those behavior plan strategies that the school was putting in place, which we thought as a PLC that was great. It's providing students, hey, this is what we're trying. This is the direction we're heading with this behavior plan. This is our expectations for you, and this is how we are going to reinforce this behavior plan. So there's no surprises for the students. So we thought we went ahead and put that in as a strength area and move forward with that. Implementation of the visuals, man, we were overloaded with PowerPoints and posters and worksheets, everything you could think of that you needed for an implementation. Administration did it. So 69% agreed with that, and then 31% had a 4 rating there. So great job with that. That all came from administration. They did a nice job over the summer getting that ready. Improvement areas, being prepared to implement. Teachers didn't feel that they were prepared. This kind of happened overnight for us. This behavior plan was implemented at the start of a new school year. And it was like, here's posters, here's what we expect from it. This is what we need to see, but didn't really give us any strategies of how to implement this in the classroom, in the hallways, in the lunchroom. It was just like, there it is, all at one time, run with it. So they just didn't feel prepared. Student knowledge of plan, 37% felt that the students had any idea of what this plan was, what was expected out of them. So just a little bit confused as far as students didn't know what the reinforcement was going to be. Area of growth there for sure. But that is a plan that we really love here. It's creative, something that students can relate to. So I think as we move forward with it, we'll see a lot of great growth. Moving forward here, just a quick overview from what we gathered from the Insight survey and teacher working conditions survey. These things are great. Teachers at Mint Hill really take the time to really dive into these surveys and put what's on their mind. They don't just go through Colec just to get it done. We actually talk about it in staff meetings and review the results in depth, which is something I haven't experienced at any other school. So you have positive side, school leadership. Past year it was 6.7, current year 7.5, district is 7.4. What's going on, Coach Knox? So we've showed some improvement over the years and some growth that we've really like to see as far as our school leadership. They've done a great job at bringing us together as a whole staff and just doing some really great things with the behavior plan and a lot of other things that's going on in the school. Learning environment, 6.4 past year, 7.1 now. It showed some growth. We're tied with the district here, which is something that we like to see. So we're creating a positive learning environment with the implementation of the personalized learning, choice learning. We'll have a strong focus on data-driven instruction, just doing some cool things and allowing our teachers to take risks, which allows us to have some positive change. Academic expectations. we were tied with the district. Really didn't have any information on past years, but we want to make sure that our rigor is at a level that it needs to be for our students, and we're setting the bar high. I think if we, as a school, set the standards low, we can't expect much positive change. And our administration, from the top down to the teachers and the TAs and anybody that's involved in the school, knows that we have high expectations. Areas of improvement, we needed to focus on more managing student conduct, and that all ties into the behavior plan that's being implemented, and I think that'll just take some time. So this is from the teacher working conditions survey. Students follow the rules at the school. 60%, not bad, but we would like to see that 100% agree. And that'll come as students are more familiar with the behavior plan. School administration consistently enforces rules to our students, 58.3. That needs to be higher. I think students need to know that school administration is going to stand by the teachers and support. Yeah, no, that's fine, Coach Knox. Want to get in the video? You want to get in the video?
No.
So school administration needs to do a better job at, and they do a great job. I think with the new plan, the new plan is really starting to see some change, and I think this will grow as far as building those reinforcement areas and how we're going to approach that. This always seems to be an issue as far as class sizes are reasonable to meet students' needs. We didn't have many teachers agree with that. We're under 50% at 43.4. So, I mean, that's a district issue as far as how many students, the student to teacher ratio. So we'll see. Non-instructional time is sufficient to meet the learning needs of students. That just refers to planning time. That's tough. Each teacher gets about 65 minutes a day to plan. So that's a scheduling issue that we'll try to take on over the summer months just to see what we can do to provide teachers with more non-instructional time to plan. So we found some strength points and some positive points from that. Now for the moment that we've been waiting for, what it all comes down to, student learning and student achievement data. This is just data that we've gained from the school report card. Reading, math, and science all over district ratings here, and state. We love to see that. This is for a level 4. Level 5 on the end of grades, we would like to see higher percentage, but we were happy to see that's over the district and the state average. Moving forward, we have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and then overall on math and reading. And it's straight across the board, our school compared to the district and the state. Love to see that. Here is some math results. Thank you, Coach Knox. Math results straight across the top of the board. We have our school. Pretty nice job all the way across. And then you have the district and the state. So this is something that we reviewed as a PLC. We could spend hours talking about student achievement. I wanted to include it here in the PowerPoint just because I thought that is what our focus needs to be driven by. Everything that we do focuses on student achievement. Areas of growth. In our school improvement plan, we have a strong focus on students with disabilities. We have AU classes, students with autism in a separate setting. And we have a strong focus on that in our school improvement plan, as well as students with limited English proficiency. And we noticed that in a level 1, we had a high percentage of students on their end of grade test. This was just one that we picked from the end of grade math test. Way too high in this area on a level 1, and then high percentage on level 2 here. So we just picked out areas that we thought we showed some positive growth on the end of grade testing, career and college ready, and then areas that we need some growth. I could have 100 slides on student data. was trying to get through this in a timely manner, so we just wanted to pick out some bullet points that we noticed. Overall, we wanted to, just to take us back to the very beginning here, this is what we covered. We wanted to make sure that we had students at the heart of all of this, student-centered approach and those strategies. Kind of the literary review of what our teachers are allowed to do and the leadership roles that they're taking on. Covered the behavior plan. That all focuses on student achievement. You have to have a strong behavior plan in place so students know what they can do and what they can't, and the expectations with that. Just a quick school culture review, and then make sure that all is aligned with student achievement. So hopefully you've gained a better understanding of the status of our school here at Mint Hill Middle School. As a PLC, we think that we're taking the right steps to really achieve some great things. Teachers are taking risks. Students are getting out of their comfort zone a little bit as far as different learning techniques that they're using. So I think that we have a positive learning environment here, some areas of improvement. But if we think we're at a point to where change can't happen, we're not in a good spot. So that's our school status here at Mint Hill Middle School. Thank you for your time.